Hello, hello, and welcome. I am Charisse Marie, your host for the Spiritual Growth Forum, and I am here with Brenda, who is just amazing. We had some technical difficulties. For whatever reason, Facebook didn't actually start the live. And so our team was scrambling in the background, and the poor woman, she was giving her best stuff, and we didn't hear any of it. I was hearing it, and it was awesome. So I wanted to make sure that you guys all heard it too. So welcome, Brenda. And we are so sorry. And very excited that you're here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You might want to cover your ears because I know I get really loud when I talk about being outrageous. So if you're just joining me now or if you're coming back, please make sure that you have a pen or a pencil handy because we are going to make what we call an outrageous goal. You might be a goal setter already. You might already know how to achieve your goals, but have you really made an outrageous goal before? Let me tell you, I used to be a great goal setter, a great goal finisher, but there are always things that can keep us stopped. You know, I have been in business for myself for almost 20 years, and I wish I could sit here and tell you that it has all been smooth sailing. It's all been flow and no ebb. But there was a time not too long ago that I had a lot more ebb than I did flow. Maybe you're like me and you realize that, energy has so much to do with things. So there's a particular time in my life where everything was dark. I had just lost my stepfather to a heart attack, my mother to cancer, and the bone that really broke me was when my dog died in my arms. If you can imagine, that was low vibe. And if you're like me, you also know that that's okay because we can correct our vibe with, you know, uh, gratitude and being feeling grateful for things. And it had affected everything, including my business. I even got down to a point where the best income I could make was driving my car with Lyft. My car needed repairs, and I was thankful that I was able to get those repairs done. And I remember specifically thinking, I'm going to start my day with some gratitude here. It's a gorgeous day. It's bright and sunny. I have a full tank of gas. And then I heard this outrageous beep. Every single light on my dashboard lit up. And this was my livelihood, including that little triangle of death. At that point, I knew I was cursed. I had to be. Fast forward 9 months later, and I had gotten myself not only out of $20,000 worth of debt, but I had paid cash for a trip to 3 different continents. And now, years later, I am in a marriage, a beautiful marriage, the healthiest marriage of the love of my life. And I have finally made my first 6 figures in a year. And I'm here to tell you that no matter where you are in that ebb and the flow, we can give you more flow and a lot less ebb. Are you ready for that? All right, I told you earlier to grab a pen or a piece of paper. And if you are ready to finish, if you want to continue this conversation after this, I'm going to go ahead and invite you to go to a website called finallyfinanciallyfree.me. .me. And if you go there, you'll be able to get in and find even more about your own financial curse. What is this curse that I'm talking about? The reality is I was cursed, but it wasn't from some voodoo or witchcraft that somebody had placed on me. I was cursed by my own financial set point. Now, if you want to know what your own financial set point is, go back and look at what you've made over the last 3 years. My guess is that it's a lot, it's right around that same safe circle. Or what it could have happened is you made this much money and then great things happened and you came up here, but then your refrigerator broke and you were back down here. Or your car broke and you were back down here. Or you lost a client and you were back down here. So every time you gained something, you'd come back down to this financial set point because that's where you feel safe. That's what happens. What happens when when I say, it could say that maybe it was my own set points on how many people I really want to talk to in a month because it's been a lot this month. And maybe that's why we had a tech issue earlier, right? Who knows? But I can tell you that your subconscious, no matter what you do, if it's not in alignment with your conscious mind, it's going to overtake where you are. But the good news is we have tools available to us that can fix it. And just like me, you can have more flow and a lot less ebb. So I hope you're ready to get started. The first thing that I want you to do, I'm ready. Yay, Sylvia says. All right. So what I'd like you to do now, if you have that pen and paper handy, is I want you to write down a financial goal of yours. And here's what I'd like you to do. Think of a number that will pay all of your bills, plus maybe an extra 1,000 a month or an extra 20,000 a year. Something that goes a little bit beyond where you are now, a little bit beyond what you need to make ends meet, and write that number down. Okay, now that if you have that down, go ahead and say so in the comments so I can say I'm ready. You don't have to put your number in there. Nobody needs to know what your financial goal is, but I'd just like to know that you're ready to move on. All right, from here, I want you to look at that number and I want you to think for a moment and answer this question. How good does this feel? Here's the question. That's not the question. The question is about your feelings, though. I want you to, from a number from 1 to 10, I want to know how you feel. I can do it. 10 is, yeah, I can do that. 1 is, that's not even possible. I don't know how that's going to happen. If you could put that number in the chat, that would be awesome so I can see what's going on. Now, after that number, I want you to think about this emotion. I deserve it. Okay, I've got a number in there. Thanks, Sylvia. The next number is I deserve it. Again, 10 is absolutely I deserve that. And the last number is, the 1 is nobody deserves that. And now we're going to think about this. It'll probably be really hard. What number would that be true? How true is that? Number 10 or a number 1? Got some 6s, a little bit better than not possible, right? So if you're just joining us, the questions that we're answering is, I'm going to go through real fast. You thought of a number financially that will cover all of your bills plus a little extra, maybe $1,000 a month, maybe $20,000 a year, and you wrote that number down. And now we're thinking, how hard is that going to be? How do I feel about that? Number 10 is that's going to be too hard, and number 1 is, number 10 is going to be too hard, number 1 is easy peasy, right? So now we've thought about all of that. I want you to look at that number again, and I want you to double it. Now write that number down as your outrageous goal. It is outrageous, right? If it's not outrageous, I want you to make it even higher. But most people at this point, if we were live, I would hear a bunch of, oh, what? Right? Some of you might feel a pit in the belly of your stomach, like you're going on a roller coaster ride. Others could feel like, oh, I just got punched. That is an emotion, okay? And that is the kind of thing that can stop you from making this happen. So let's evaluate that. Where is this emotion coming from? I'm going to ask you those questions again. Number 1 is, it's impossible. I can't do it. And number 10 is, yeah, I can do that. No problem. What number are you at there for that particular goal? Be honest. You don't have to put the goal in there, but tell me, how do you feel about it? Number 10, easy. Number 1, Looks like I have to refresh to see these numbers come through. The next question I have is, I deserve it. Number 10, yes, I deserve it. Number 1, I don't deserve that, and I don't know anyone who does deserve that. Oh, we do have we have some issues going on here. All right. This is what I call the subconscious, the subconscious gremlins. Okay, now we're live in the stream, but I still can't see anything that's going on because there's something happening on my end. So I'll get there though. So you are checking in on your emotions when I have just made you double a goal that seemed almost reasonable, a little bit of a stretch. And now I'm saying that is your financial goal. And I'm guessing that you don't feel like anyone deserves that or that you deserve that. At least that's probably not a 10. So when you have a goal that you are happy and excited about, That works so much differently than when you have a goal that doesn't feel safe to your subconscious mind. Because if it doesn't feel safe to your subconscious mind, it is going to work against you. It's going to do everything it can to keep you right where you are in that financial set point of where you are right now. But the opposite is true if it can get on board. So we're going to work on that today because if you have a goal that you are happy and excited about, it doesn't not only work against you, but it actually works in the background for you. It's like doing these little Tetris puzzle types things, trying to figure out how to make this happen and real for you. I hope you're ready to do that with me. In order to make that happen, lots of sixes. Thank you, Sylvia. So what we're going to do to make this happen is we're going to use a technique that even I call it a medical technique, but there's a lot of people in the woo world, which I also live in, that believe this is a spiritual technique as well. But the reality is medically based, and we are going to work on your nervous system. In order to do this, we're using EFT. It's called um, Emotional Freedom Technique is what EFT stands for. Other people call it tapping for short. And again, we've used this in even veterans organizations to help alleviate PTSD. It's a very real thing. And it can look a little silly. So if you're, outside and out and about, I'm going to tell you, you can do this under the covers, right? Under on the lowdown, on the down low, however you want to say that. I often will do this in public just by doing a karate chop right here because it's easily put underneath a table and nobody notices. Another one I have on occasion been able to do is kind of lean in there and just tap my collarbone. But today I'm going to ask you if you're in a safe place and you don't mind doing this with someone, I'm going to ask you to do two things. One is to follow along with me. We're going to start at the top of our head is one of the points, kind of in the crown, right, where a baby's soft spot would be. Another one is the top of your eyebrow, kind of in the middle of your eyebrow here. Another one is the side of your eye, where if you were wearing eyeglasses, you'd be tapping here. Another one is underneath your eye and next to your, I am blessed with a beautiful nose, aren't I? Is it right about here? So it's kind of like where the tip of your nose would be and underneath your eye. And then another is under that beautiful nose and above your lip. That one, everyone's like, that feels so funny. And then another one is here, below your lip and above your chin. All right, we're going to work through these and we're going to say some things at the same time. There are more tapping points. I'm just not going to use them today. Again, some is the collarbone, and others are if you have a bra, if you wear a bra, would be at your bra line. But those kind of look weird, and we're just going to tap through these today. And we're also going to take some deep breaths. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath right now. I know I need that after the tech trouble that I've had today. So we've taken a deep breath. We're looking at that outrageous goal, and we're going to say some things that, if you know me, I am not big on using negative words. But what we're going to do today is we are going to honor the thoughts your subconscious mind might be thinking. So we're going to start off a little bit on the negative. I hope you're ready to roll with me. So here we're going to go. Looking at that number. I'm following along with some notes, so I have some things to say here, but we're going to start at the top of the head. We're going to say, there's my income number. I'm looking at it. It feels impossible. It's totally impossible. Impossible for me. There's no way I can make that happen. There's no way that can happen at all. I have a pretty open mind. But if I'm being honest, there's a part of me, and it would be really, really hard to do that. There's a part of me that knows that's impossible. At least it would be really hard anyway. It would probably be exhausting. It would probably require so much work. I know it would require sacrifice. It looks good on paper, but this goal is impossible. And that means I could fail. I could fail at it. If I accept this goal, I'll probably fail. I'll be disappointed. And I don't want that. I have resistance against this goal. I have resistance against exactly this much money. It feels impossible. And I know other people make this goal, sometimes really easily. But for me, impossible. Impossible. All right, take a deep breath. Oh, Sylvia says she loves that tab on the upper lip. That's awesome. And I'll be honest with you, everyone hates that part. They're like, ew, man, why did I do all that? But at the same time, do you feel a little bit different in that belly, in that pit of your stomach? Because like I said, what we did is we honored that subconscious mind. And what I would like you to do now is look at that number again and all those things that we just said. How true does that feel? Oh, I've had clients tell me, I hated that. I felt wrong. That's great. I'm glad I felt wrong because the reality is part of you did believe that, but you also were like, ooh, now I don't feel like those things are true at all. So if you think about that number, does it still feel that impossible? Does it feel a little bit easier? Let me know if you can tell me if that's true. And we're going to go ahead and take a deep breath because we are working that nervous system and we are working those emotions. So Sylvia says it feels about the same. So we're going to go ahead and take a deep breath. We're going to let it out. And we're going to do a little bit more tapping. But this time we're going to tap in how we really feel, how we want to feel about this goal. All right, here we go. You're looking at your number. This is my outrageous goal. Brenda made me double it. It still feels a little impossible. But I'm going to be open. I'm going to be open to all the ways that this could happen. I'm going to be open to all the ways my subconscious could support me. I'm going to honor my inner skeptic, but I'm also going to honor inspired action. I'm going to honor the fact that I want this goal. I am open to inspired actions. I'm open to feeling enthusiasm. I'm open to the energy and embracing it. I'm open to being energetic enough to reach that goal. I'm open to all the wonder I can feel, all the puzzle pieces that my subconscious mind could put in place for me. I'm open to this happening the easy way. Yeah, I said it. I am open to it being a journey, a fun time, one that unfolds beautifully. I love looking at this number and everything it represents. I am open to earning exactly this much money. Okay, take your breath. How does that feel? Does it still feel impossible? Is there some excitement? When you shift that number of possibility, even if you move it, oh, I'm glad you feel awesome, Sylvia. Even if you move that number from 1 point over, even 2 points over, you are opening up to the possibilities. Yes, it feels more possible now. A couple of other things you might have experienced in this moment. I the most recent time that I did this with a client, she cried. And she's like, "Is it normal to feel this kind of emotion come up?" And I almost started crying because you know what? Not only is it normal, it is the biggest indicator that this is working for you. So if you got emotional doing this, congratulations. Huge things are going to happen for you. I can't wait to see and hear from you about how this has made a change for you. Other ways that I know that this is making a difference in your subconscious mind, believe it or not, is a yawn. I didn't just bore you, but if you were yawning while you were tapping, that is your subconscious mind letting go of the resistance that you have to making these goals. Now, again, you can do these anywhere and you don't even have to say the words in order for it to work. Some on the fly ones I love to do is if I'm in a car and I don't like the traffic, my nervous system can get me and this will relax me there. If I'm at a restaurant and it's too crowded, major introvert here, by the way, I can tap underneath it a table right here. It's like a karate chop at the soft part of your arm, and you're taking an index finger. Those are some things that can help you. But what I'd like you to do to next steps for this is to be open to those possibilities. My client Candace, after just starting this kind of work, she was at rock bottom. She hadn't made any money in weeks. And we were starting to work on these kinds of things. And she called me. She said, "I can't make our next session. I have a job." And I was like, "Okay, that's awesome." She says, "Yeah, it's temporary, but you know what? I just have to show up and do my crafts for 3 hours and I'm going to get a couple $1,000s." That's how the universe works and solves problems for you. All these things will open up. I've just recently, just for honestly, for fun, I hadn't done it in a while, and I said, "You know, it'd be nice to get another check in the mail." And 2 days later, $700 arrived. Those are the kinds of things that happen for you when you open up. Now, do you think that I went and planned on a thing? Okay, I'm going to make this much from a client. I'm going to make this much from emails. I'm going to make this much from someone passing away. I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm going to make this much from a letter coming in the mail. Those are our right brain kind of goals. But how can you say I'm going to get this much in a check in the mail? That doesn't happen. But all these possibilities do open up for you and things change and your refrigerator stays working when you make the money if you're in alignment. So, this was just one little taste of how I can help people when they are looking for these changes, when they're looking to see maybe you have all the tools that you need to get your business going. If you're a business owner, maybe you have all the tools you need to pay off that debt, and yet it's still not happening. And if that's the case, this type of work can truly help you. And you want to know more about going beyond, this goal, go ahead and take that quiz at finallyfinanciallyfree.me and find out about more ways that you might be cursed with a financial set point in your subconscious mind. And then let's get some emails from me and you'll know how to get out of those set points. I hope that you had as much fun as I did. I hope that I didn't break anybody's ears by being as excited as I am. And I hope that you will move forward from today and be outrageous.